Groundskeeper Chat series. I am your host, Meg Kruger, and today I am joined by the man behind the.j.sprays. So this is one of those accounts that I think maybe the first time ever people in the Pioneer office were like, "Are you following this guy?" Like there was some content definitely around the November, December time where people were like, "Oh, you've got to have him on the Groundskeeper Chat." And then, James told me, he's like, "You got to have him on." Then when you were down at the Snoop Dogg Bowl helping paint for that, they were like, "You got to have him on." So sure enough, remained patient with me as we tried to navigate schedules here. And we now are very happy to welcome on to the Groundskeeper Chat for the first time, Mr. Jordan Achay. He is the field manager with the LA Chargers, and he also, like I mentioned before, is the man behind the brand J.Sprays, the popular TikTok account. Now I see him all over my Instagram. I see him on Twitter. He's everywhere. So welcome, sir.
Awesome. Appreciate that. That was a great intro.
Like I said, I always just wing it, so you never really know what's going to come out. Sometimes they just roll off the tongue. Other times I start talking about spaghetti and people are like, "What's going on here?"
All right. Well, it worked.
Good. Yeah. Well, welcome to the series. We're happy to have you. We're excited to dive into all of our typical Groundskeeper Chat questions. But the first one we'd like to start with is, especially, we were talking about this before we started rolling, like you're, full time with the LA Chargers, and you're also, running your own business. So I can't imagine you have a ton of free time. But what are the things you love to do outside of the job? Like, what are the things that help keep you grounded, keep you, refuel you so that you can go and do big projects, make sure you're showing up in your best self every day? What are those things you love to do outside of the gig?
Well, like you said, there's not a ton of free time, but I guess what I've been doing the most that I enjoy is hanging out with my family, spending time with them, going to my boy's soccer, jiu-jitsu, trying out which sports he likes, and then spending time with family, doing whatever we can on our free time, making sure that when my girlfriend and I have time alone, we go on a hike or something, we still make time to go spend time with each other, try to get time with family and friends outside of just our household as well. So pretty much just spend time with people I care about for the most part. And then, sometimes we'll try to go do something fun as well, whether it's bowling or going out, going to the beach a lot. I mean, pretty much I'm trying to stay active more than anything. So a lot of running, which I've never been a huge runner in the past, but fitness, just trying to stay healthy and have fun.
Yep. And you said you're 2 miles from the beach, so that sounds like, the perfect recipe for time off with the family. Like, what else is better than going to the beach?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I've grown up in Orange County my whole life. Now I'm in South Bay, which is a section of LA that's right next to the beach. So, like you said, it's very convenient, and I love it here. It's not in the city of LA, but it's close enough to where you can go there if you want with no issue. Close enough to family for now. It's beautiful. I love it here, if I'm being honest.
And I see the car seat in the back seat. So how old is your son? You said
he's
son,
5.
right?
Yeah, he's 5.
Okay, I have a 5-year-old as well. So when people ask me like what I like to do, I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, it sounds semi-lame, but like I just like hanging out with my kids, and that's a full-time job in itself. Like, going to the zoo, doing things like that. It's no easy feat when you've got a 5-year-old, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, it's fun though. It's a lot of fun.
It is fun. Yeah, my 5-year-old, his name is River, and he's like my best friend. And then I have a 2-year-old as well. And he is like a wild animal. I don't know where he came from. He's like, we all thought my first was crazy, like a little, wild child. This one like takes it to the next level. It's like you wouldn't imagine the things that they could get into.
I can only imagine. I'm sure we all have stories.
Definitely. So our next question is always our turf origin story. So, how did this come on your radar? How did this become a career for you? Was it somebody that was like, "Hey, you might be good at this," or was it one thing fell into place, or how did this really, become what it is today?
Yeah, so I'll start with I played baseball my entire life, and playing baseball, you're always taking care of your own field, especially once you get to high school, some colleges too. So
Mhm.
I was a catcher. I always had to take care of the catcher's area. So that's really where I got a taste of it. And then side jobs throughout high school or whenever I could make money, sometimes I'd go help at like a local baseball field for tournaments if I wasn't playing in them, and make a little extra money. And then so once I got to college, I needed a job while I could fit with my
Mhm.
baseball and school schedule. And my best friend actually went to Mount Sac College, which is a local junior college, and they have a turf program.
Okay.
And he wasn't in it, but he got a flyer that said the LA Coliseum is looking for part-time help. He knew I was looking for a job, so he sent it over to me. So I sent an email out, said I'm interested in the position, and they told me to come on in. And
Very cool.
I went in there, and my boss, actually now Ryan Rowland at the Chargers, is the one who hired me at USC,
Okay.
um, at the LA Coliseum. So pretty much I just went in, he showed me around, and asked when I'm able to start. Told him whole summer. This is right at the beginning of summer. To go play baseball. I was going to North Carolina that year.
Okay.
So right when I got back, I think the week of I started working because it was the first year the Rams were back in LA. So they
Okay.
had UFC football and the Rams at the stadium. So I pretty much just jumped straight into it. And from there, I've never stopped. I wouldn't say I plan on getting into this industry, but like I've heard from a lot of other people, it's you don't necessarily plan on it, it just
Yeah.
happens and you stick with it. So I stuck with it part time at USC for I want to say like 5-6 years maybe while I was playing college baseball, and then after that went to SoFi Stadium, and
Okay.
from there went to the Chargers and been here going on my fourth season now.
Very cool. Very cool. But yeah, it's always, the reason we always ask that question is because it's, if you're a nurse or a teacher or, an accountant, it's like step one, two, and three. It looks a lot the same for a lot of people. But with turf, it's like this winding web of like chaos that eventually like it almost like falls into people's lap. And once they do get like a taste for it, it's hard for them to walk away from the opportunity. It's such a unique, industry job, that it comes with all these wonderful things that we love to hear how people got there. But then it's like you said, once people are in it, it's very rare for them to leave.
Absolutely. I mean, I got started, and I've never been to an NFL game prior to that. And my first, like, I think the first month I was working there, I was already at a Rams game on the
Very cool.
field. So I'm like, this is not something most people get to do. And so like I said, I didn't plan on it, but yeah, it just happened to work out for me. So
Very
been
cool.
in a,
What do you think are the things that like whether it was, in your childhood or how you were raised or even just who you were as an athlete that lended itself well to this career? Like what are the traits that you think just really work well in this career that, you didn't know that you were preparing for a life in turf management, but what do you think were some of those things that, made it so that you could be successful with where you are today?
yeah, I mean, being in sports my entire life is definitely a huge part of it because I've still my entire life is sports.
Yeah.
So that's number one. And also, I can't sit still for the most part. So I have to be doing something. And I mean, this type of job, there's always something you can do, whether I do want some downtime or not. I mean, there's definitely some time for that, but yeah, it keeps you moving around. And then I think also figuring out that there's more to it than what people see.
Yeah.
I do like that part of it because I think anything like I'll compare it to baseball. Baseball, people see somebody throw the ball, hit it, run around the bases, and pretty much that's the gist of what they get from the game.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more that goes into it. It's called the game within the game. There's pitch sequence. There's um, defensive alignment or positioning. There's all these other little aspects that go into it, and turf management is pretty similar too. I mean, the nutrients that go into the grass, the type of grass, the weather that you're getting, the weather that was there the last week, the weather that's coming up the next 2 weeks, and all these different factors. What sport is going on your field? Maybe you're on an artificial field, which people may think that there's nothing to do there, but there's a lot of work
Yeah.
on artificial fields as well. So it's, I think, just how in depth you can go with it has always fascinated me. And it was a lot at first because I started off as just a part time worker that was going to school that was not really focused on it fully. So I was doing a lot of the basic stuff, but I also jumped into some more advanced things as well. But yeah, as you get deeper into it, you figure out more and more, and I'm still learning.
Yeah. What was your initial like degree that you were after?
Well, I got a master's in business administration and
Okay.
so
Okay.
I got a marketing master's, and so for even after I graduated, um, I finished baseball, got my degrees, and I was helping out at SoFi Stadium, and even then I was interviewing for other jobs. I was still helping out at USC as well. Um, I wanted to stay in sports, but didn't know what I wanted to do. But also always wanted to have a business, so
Yeah.
I started a marketing business with one of my friends who I graduated with and played baseball with, and we had some clients, so I thought that was going to be the thing. But I was also interviewing for other jobs like administrative positions in sports, college, yeah, mostly college jobs.
Yeah.
But I, I don't know, I just never left this part of it.
Yeah.
So ended up getting offered a job with the Chargers, and yeah, stuck with it.
Never looked back. Well, I would have, if I would have taken a guess, I would have said that you were, yeah, like at school for marketing because some of the content, not some of the content, all of the content you put out is really impressive. It's very, thoughtful commentary on this unique side of the industry. And I'm not surprised to hear that you have that background because it is definitely, above the par, I would say, from, the typical post. It goes a little bit further than what we typically see. When did you start doing that element of it? Like filming what you were doing, even the simple TikToks of you painting, numbers on the field. Like when did that start to become a part of it that you wanted to share?
Um, I think it was 2021. I want to say it was whenever the Rams were the year that they won the Super Bowl. I would always send my friends videos of us painting the field, and
Yeah.
then I got person after person start telling me like, "Hey, post these." I've never really been big on posting to social media. Didn't even have a TikTok, none of that. But I was like, you know what? I'll go for it.
Yeah.
Um, I was doing it already. I was like, might as well just make a video from it. And so I think the very first video or one of the first few videos I made, we were painting for a playoff game the Rams were hosting the Cardinals.
Okay.
And yeah, it kind of just took off from there. And so I was like, all right, I need to stick with this. I know there is opportunity in here. I don't know what it is, but from there it just kept growing. And like I said, I've never really been too into posting on social media. I've always been on social media, but the posting part of it was never really my thing.
Yeah.
I'm not usually like the most, at least at that point, not the most outgoing person. Didn't really care to share much about myself, but it kind of blew up and I stuck with it since.
Definitely. Well, and I think in so many ways, like as a groundskeeper, one of the elements of the job that a lot of people in this industry like is that behind the scenes. The fact that you can do your job behind the scenes, people show up and they marvel at this, work that you were putting in weeks, months, years into it. And it's this wonderful, like almost best kept secret. And so there's always like this barrier for groundskeepers to take that next step and like then really share that secret with the world and kind of pull back the curtain in a sense. And that's like been one of my main like passions since joining this industry is to get people like yourself to post about it because people do find it so intriguing. Even if it's the simple, like satisfying videos where it's like painting a number, or if it's the more in-depth, intricate details behind how something is done, people are really intrigued by it.
Yeah, I agree, and I love spreading that because I mean I think we, not necessarily me, but like people just in this industry and other aspects of sports as well just don't get enough recognition
Hmm.
for what they do, especially with how much work it is. But like you said, there's a lot of like little pieces of it that nobody ever sees, and so it's nice to just show that. And one thing that I do want to kind of, I guess, show a little more of is more than just painting, because I was doing that for a bit, and then I realized like painting is where I'm getting most of the views from, so I stuck with that. And then now I'm starting to realize like it's not always just about that; it's kind of about the message that you're trying to send out. So I want to show more of what goes into this job. Like there's a lot of the time people will say like, "Oh, so you're a field painter?" I'm like, "Well, we do that, but there's also all this." Oh,
Yeah.
or oh, you mow the lawn. I'm like, first of all, it's not lawn. Second of all, yeah, you see us mowing, but you don't see all the other hours we're putting into everything else. And I mean, it's a lot of stuff that people don't see and don't know about and don't understand, and you can't blame them.
Yep.
So that's why I want to show people what goes on, like more in depth in groundskeeping. And I like to get to where I can do it with other aspects of sports too. Like there are so many other departments, there are other types of people that are in sports. Like you guys are in sports as well,
Yeah.
sense. And so I mean, there's just a lot that goes into it that I want to show and get people to start realizing like, okay, these are the people that help put on your entertainment.
For sure. No, it is a cool, once you start peeling back the layers, it's like Pandora's box. It's so much that goes into it. Um,
Absolutely.
and one of my favorite people to talk about is Andy Hubbard with Athletic Applications.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
because I think he very much like you was like, what do I have to, why am I going to put something on a Twitter of, me and my crew? Like, just kind of like, what's that going to do? But he always goes back to how much business he's been able to get from that, where
Oh yeah.
like a simple, mound photo, like, hey, look at this. Like we used this product. It looks awesome. And then, you've got four DMs that are like, how much would I have to pay to get that at my field or for my kids'
Absolutely.
field? Like, and how cool it is that he's utilizing social media to, not only bring eyeballs to our industry and spread the message and make sure groundskeepers are appreciated, but also, money in the pocket, like getting his name out there. And, he's doing some of these bowl games that are, they're massive. They're on a massive scale. Um, I mean, I just think it's such an impressive business like to look at from where he was simply just posting a few photos into now where people are like invested in the smoke series and they want to know like what bowl games he's going to be involved in and all these different elements.
It's awesome. I mean, yeah, like you said, Andy's awesome. By the way, he invited me to go help with the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. He invited me the year before when it was Barstool as well, but I wasn't able to make it work. Thankfully, my boss here let me get away for a couple days during our season to go help with that,
Yeah.
and that was awesome. That was by far the coolest thing I've ever got to first see painted on a football field, but to be a part of was just amazing. Like I've I've grown up listening to Snoop Dogg, and
Yeah.
um, I've been painting football fields for the longest time. So I mean, to be able to blend those two with the lowrider in it, like that was crazy. I loved it, but I mean, it's awesome. Like what social media has brought. I think for a little while it got like a little bit of negativity towards it because I mean, people can post stupid stuff on it and
Yeah.
really get themselves in trouble with their teams or with anybody else, or put a bad name on like other people in this industry. And that's one thing that I don't want to do. I don't want first of all, I'm not going to speak for anybody else, but second of all, I don't want to shine a bad light on anybody else, period, but especially in this industry, because people deserve the recognition. But like you said, it has helped me get jobs. I know we were talking earlier, and I said that I was a baseball coach,
Hmm.
and that was awesome to do. But I would go from work at either SoFi Stadium or Chargers, wherever I was at the time, sometimes USC, and then go straight to Newport Beach, which is in South Orange County, to go coach baseball. Go back to Fullerton to go coach baseball, and so that was pretty taxing in itself.
Yeah.
Going do a full time job, and then baseball coach 5-6 days a week, and so like just sticking with social media, it's helped me get other jobs to where I don't have to do that because living here is expensive.
Yeah.
Um, and I maybe I could make it by if I didn't do all that, but I feel like I need to. And one thing that I enjoy doing is growing something and working. Like I said, I can't sit still. And so if I'm not doing something, I have like it's hard for me to relax. If I'm relaxing, I feel like I'm not being productive enough, and I can't relax. Really, it's stressful.
Hmm.
So I have to be doing that, and social media has helped me stay busy because
Hmm.
it's so much more work than I expected. I mean, I started off making these 2-minute videos that would take me 2 hours to make, and I kind of dialed it in a little more to where I could figure out how to get better and more time efficient. But I mean, still now I'm focusing on trying to make some long form content, which I've never done before, and that's just so much time.
It
It's
is.
crazy. It's worth it, and I don't have anybody else on my team at the moment. I have plenty of people that have helped me grow
Hmm.
this brand, and I got to thank them tremendously. But my God, like I I just don't have anybody else right now to help me edit videos, to record, to do all this other stuff. And so it's a lot more work than it may look like. And I'm not patting myself on the back for it, but I am I underestimated it a little bit, I do say.
Yeah. I think that's one of I do like a social media presentation at SFMA a couple of times, and one of the things I say is like you got to be consistent. So if you're ready to start today, make sure you can create a cadence that is consistent because like the algorithms are so finicky, like you can't figure it out. But consistency helps, like in the sense that if you're posting, you know, on a similar cadence, they're able to notice your videos. It populates in people's feeds. But if you post one, video and then 7 months later you do like an Instagram post or something, it's like you're getting lost in the masses. So that's always something that people are like, oh yeah, I could keep up a cadence. But like you said, it is so much more behind that, especially when you get into the longer form content. But tell us a little bit about that. Like, I think you were telling me it's, going to be like a series, kind of like a behind the scenes series to the industry, correct?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean that quickly before that, there was another an account. So I have Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and I recently just made a Facebook account because
Okay.
I got a word from my friend Nick Wills, who used to work for the Chargers. He's with Heritage now, and he let me know, hey, there's a copycat account out there on
Oh,
Facebook, which
nice.
I never
Nice.
had. So it's J.Sprays, but with the Z, and they use all of my content. Their
Crazy.
all their videos. They're using other accounts. I know the Twins Cruise accounts and others. So now I made a Facebook, and I have a trademark pending right now for my name, but it's a long process. So
Yeah.
right now, all I can keep doing is reporting and trying to get that worked out. But anybody who's listening to this,
Report J
go
Sprays with
report
a Z.
Z. I'm the one with the S. That's me. But yes, going back to what you just asked with the long form content, like I said, I want to kind of give everybody more recognition on what goes on behind the scenes. And right now, for the most part, what I have are jobs that I've been on. Just with everything I have going on with Chargers and my own business, it's hard to get away to go to other people's fields sometimes, which thankfully I've had a little bit of time to go do that, mix that in. But pretty much what I'm doing is I'm recording long clips of the whole process of painting for the Snoop Arizona Bowl. For another job that I helped Andy's company with in Dallas, and then other jobs that I've had on my own. And I'd like to get into other sports and aspects of sports as well too. But pretty much what I'm doing is getting these clips together, making a long video, and I'm sitting behind a microphone and pretty much giving an explanation of what's going on, giving it an intro, letting people know what it is,
Very cool.
and giving it more, just giving it more, I guess, a different look on what it just appears to be, rather than just painting a logo or what it could be. Like, I'll let them know what went into all this, why we did it this way,
Yeah.
the design, anything it could be. So
Very
that's pretty
cool.
much what I'm trying to do, is just spread awareness and give recognition on different parts of this industry and sports in a whole.
Definitely. Very cool. And right now, like what is that sweet spot for your business? Like what kind of jobs or user groups are you guys really catering towards?
So a lot of what I've done in the past, it's been a mix of a few different things. Especially, I haven't had the time to fully just focus completely on it. So, what I've done is a few brand videos. So, like making a company's logo
Okay,
on
very
a
cool.
piece of turf or grass or whatever it could be, and then I'll go paint for, I guess, leagues. I guess sports leagues. So we have a recurring youth flag football league that we paint for over here in LA. There's professional women's rugby league that I go paint for up in Northern California. Just different type of stuff like that. I'll go help paint logos went and help paint a logo at a minor league stadium. Or I'll go paint a logo for pretty much anybody who needs it that we can fit in the schedule with. But I've also done jobs for like Nike and Oakley, painted football fields for commercials or
Very cool.
big tournaments where we make a full end zone with their logos in it and center field logos and stuff, painted soccer fields. So pretty much just anybody who wants a sports field or a logo for their business is what it is. I guess those are the two sweet spots. And then done some sod jobs and just some other like type of turf management jobs that can go into like stuff that I know pretty much.
Yep.
I'm not going to jump into anything that I don't think I can get done. So yeah, I'd say sports leagues and brands are the two main people that we're going for.
Very cool. Very cool. And what do you hope it is in 5 years? Like where do you really hope to not only take the branding element and the J sprays, but also just the business as a whole?
Well, I mean, one of my inspirations is athletic applications, and Andy, he's brought me on to help with some of these huge paint jobs. And I don't necessarily want to copy his business, but I do want to have a consistent client base where I'm going out to paint sports fields, and even parking lots and stuff too. It doesn't have to be necessarily tailored to sports, but for the most part it is.
Yeah.
which is fine. I enjoy that probably more than anything is painting sports fields. Um, but I would say I just want to, I pretty much want to have a consistent business that's always growing.
Definitely.
Um, that and still stay on the content side of things as well. But
Hmm.
my main goal for this business is to spread awareness and recognition of the people in the industry and the people in sports,
Yep.
pretty much. And so go out and do these other jobs as well, and that gives me an opportunity to record content, as well as put down a nice like NFL style field for somebody or rugby, soccer, whatever it could be. But yeah, pretty much just have a, I guess, successful business that has the physical side of things and the digital side. So,
Very cool. I
yeah.
love it. Speaking my language there. I love it. And one thing about running your own business is, like you mentioned, there's a lot of time in the car. Like you said, you were sometimes down in Southern California, and then you'll go up to Northern California, and then you'll be in Dallas. Like there's planes, trains, automobiles. Like what are the things that you're listening to get you through your commute? Whether it's your commute into work, or while you're out on a mower, or you're, focus dialing in on a job. What kind of music are you listening to? What kind of podcasts are you listening to? What are the things, we call this the behind the headphones series?
Oh man. I like this question. Because I'm listening to podcasts until I run out of stuff I want to listen to. Then I'll turn the music on. If I'm
Yep.
by myself.
Yep.
If I'm with my family, we'll more than likely we'll be listening to some rock, whether it's System of a Down or I don't know, we get into some like deeper stuff too, Slipknot and Korn, all that type of stuff. But I've always been into hip hop as well, so we have a mix. Like I said, I grew up listening to Snoop and all those guys, and so that's more than likely what I'll be listening to. One of those two, whether it's like old school hip hop, rock, um, a lot of the older music. But first and foremost, I'll listen to my podcasts. I have a few comedy podcasts I listen to
Okay.
that come out every week. Make sure I get those done. I have a couple business podcasts I listen to, and I'll knock those out. And so there's a lot of time, like you said, in the car, on planes, a lot of time spent on the mower,
Hmm.
or while I'm painting, I'll have my headphones on, just listening to something too. So yeah, pretty much. I have a ton of I've put in so much time just listening to podcasts, and then when that's done, just put on music.
I know I need like someone to recognize my work in the podcast arena as far as a listener, because I listen to a daily podcast, and it's like anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. And it's like the amount of time I've in my life that I've given to this podcast, like not Groundskeeper chats, but the personal ones that I like. Like I'm really into pop culture, unfortunately. That's like my weakness in life. So I'm always listening to that podcast. But my son, he loves the Spider-Man, like the Miles Morales Spider-Man. And they have
Yeah,
like an album that we literally, whenever we're together, we listen to that on repeat. And so if you have a 5-year-old, I'm sure he would like that. There's some Little Wayne in there, some Joey Badass in there. It's like the craziest artists for like a
hell
Spider-Man album. It's
yeah,
like
nice.
you literally
Yeah,
like how Little Wayne, whenever he's on a song, like he does like he has the flame.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
my son literally is like, I want the flame song, because you like hear it go off, and I'm like, obviously he doesn't know what they're lighting on fire, but
yeah, yeah. I know. He's really into Sonic, and on that soundtrack, Wiz Khalifa's on it too, and
yes, yes.
I'm like, oh, nice. Like this is cool. Like this my type of music, and his it mixed in with his type of his content. So like
Yeah, it's
this is cool.
hysterical.
Yeah, I like.
Fall Out Boy like does the entire like Spidey and his amazing friends. Fall Out Boy does all the music for that. So anytime like people come over to our house and my son will have that on, they'll be like, "Is this Fall Out Boy that like your 4-year-old's listening to?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I mean, we listen to a lot of System of a Down and stuff like that too. He's crazy with music choices. He's very cultured.
I
But
love it. I love it.
yeah, no, it's awesome. I love that I don't have to listen to little kid stuff all the time.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, my 2-year-old went through a Frozen stage, and like we couldn't go anywhere without him screaming like Elsa, Elsa, and I'm a pushover, so I would just put it on, and because it was better to listen to that than to listen to him scream it in my ears. So, but yeah, I need to get him on some of my music so I can avoid that in the future.
Yeah, thankfully, my partner has great music taste, so I don't have to think about what I play all the time because I get real tired of my music, if I'm being honest. Like I have
Yeah.
over 2,500 songs saved on my Spotify, and I don't want to listen to any of them. So I'll just let her play whatever she wants, and she always knows what to play. So it's cool with me.
I love it. I love it. Well, and I was going to ask you, so when Snoop Dogg did the halftime Super Bowl performance, was that at SoFi Stadium?
Yeah,
So were you there during that one?
yeah, and I was at a few rehearsals too. That was the year that I was at SoFi.
Oh my
I
gosh.
at SoFi all the time.
So your
I also
stars aligned, truly.
yeah, I mean so like you know how Spotify and Apple Music they do like your top
Yes, your
artists to
Spotify
and stuff.
Wrapped.
So I've grown up my entire life listening to Eminem's always been my number one, and then like Snoop Dogg, DJ Quick, and 50 Cent, and all those guys have been like up there as well. And so I got to see Eminem, Snoop Dogg, um, was it Mary J. Blige, Dr.
Yes,
Dre, 50
yes.
Kendrick, who I just went to one of his concerts recently, and it was. I mean, I couldn't have been any better for me, honestly.
Yeah, that
So
is like a bucket list item right there.
yeah, I was at the rehearsal like 4 or 5 times prior
So
to the Super
crazy.
Bowl, loving it every time.
Yeah, that is so crazy. Wow, very, very cool. Well, yeah, I could say like that in itself would be a reason to stay in the industry, just so that you could get another glimpse at something like that. Was
That's
Snoop
the stuff
Dogg,
that
did he ever come out to the field when you guys were painting for the Arizona Bowl?
I didn't see him, but I wasn't there the entire time. I was there on
Okay.
Saturday and Sunday. I know those guys um, either got there on Thursday or Friday,
Okay.
and they were there till at least Monday
Okay.
that weekend or around that weekend, and came back the following week. So at least the 2 days that I was there painting, I didn't see him, but he may have come outside of that. I know throughout that week, the game was the following weekend, and throughout that week, I know they did stuff on the field,
Very cool.
but I'm not too sure. We ended up flying back. I got to take my family there the next
Oh,
week, and
very cool.
Andy let us know that he can get us in for that. So that was awesome, getting to like shake the players' hands and watch shit from the front row and stuff. See Snoop Dogg walk out. So we saw him, but didn't.
Yeah. Well, and also just to see your work on that large of a stage and have your family be a part of that. That's really, really cool.
It was. No, that was awesome. And then I made videos of that paint job, of course, and Snoop Dogg reposted a couple of them too. So that
Oh,
was cool.
very cool. Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
realize that. That's awesome.
yeah, that
You're
was
on
fun.
Snoop Dogg's radar.
I was telling my whole family that, and so I had to make sure I gave credit to Andy because that was his job, and I was just
Yep.
happy to be part. But yeah, no, it was awesome.
Very cool. Yeah, he's a good egg. He's a good one to keep around for sure.
Oh yeah, I think he just texted me this morning. Actually, he's a great guy.
I love him. Well, let him know I said hi. I'm Andy's always the number one in my heart.
Awesome, great guy for sure.
Well, I really appreciate your time today. I know you said you were on lunch break, so I apologize for taking up too much of your time. Hopefully, you can squeeze in some time to go get some food here.
Oh yeah, no, I'll be fine. No, I'll be fine.
Okay. Well, I
Okay.
really do appreciate your time, and I really look forward to, following along with the content and being, a wonderful fan and cheerleader of it in the future.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Appreciate Pioneer support as well.
Definitely. We're always here.
Yeah, no, you guys have helped me in the past for sure. Still
Good,
continue
good.
to. Appreciate all of you.
Awesome. Well, you have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
No
Have a great
problem. Bye-bye.